Ready. Well, last week, Jackie, we had Sheree Clark here from Fork in the Road, and she brought in some store-bought spoiled food that she had us consume. Is that what it was called?
No.
No. What was it called?
Fermented.
Fermented. That's the word I'm looking for.
Cultured.
Okay, cold. Okay, that's what I mean.
I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say you're gonna bring some culture to our show this morning.
But it was
It's
like
impossible.
it was like things like sauerkraut, but they were store-bought.
They were.
Because we made it really easy for people. And then what was the salsa? It was fermented salsa.
Yes, it was fermented
We
salsa.
had some, and then this thing called gut juice.
Gut shot.
Gut shot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is like the brine from sauerkraut or whatever. Very
Right.
salty, very good, but you can shoot it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it just made you feel good for some reason.
Yeah,
it was
does.
really cool.
Yeah, exactly. So you can buy them at the store. That's the easiest way of doing it.
Yeah, this doesn't look store-bought.
Because you've been traveling a lot and you wanted to show people that you could make healthy choices while still being on the road. But
Exactly.
obviously you always want to subscribe people doing it.
Homemade.
Homemade,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. And there's a couple reasons. One, you know exactly what you're getting. Two, you can make it taste exactly the way that you want it to. And three, it's a hell of a lot cheaper.
I think that's the best answer right there. It's a lot cheaper.
It's tons cheaper. So I've made some things for you guys today. Some of the things, Lou, you tried last week, the store-bought version, and now you get to try the homemade version.
Okay, good.
So let's start with sauerkraut, because that really is one of the most popular things, and a lot of people will put them on their dogs. Not dogs, hot dogs.
Right.
That's not something that I do, because I don't consider a hot dog necessarily a health food, but I do eat a lot of sauerkraut. I'll even sometimes have it for breakfast.
Now I see this down at farmers market all
Yeah.
the time, and it's not because, hey, put this on your hot dog or anything like that. It's because of the health benefits.
Yes, exactly.
So why is sauerkraut so amazing for our bodies?
All of the fermented products or cultured, we use those terms interchangeably, that we're talking about today, have good bacteria in them. And there is bacteria within the body that is helpful in breaking down food to make it digestible. So one of the reasons that you're eating it is it's the good bacteria that makes your digestive system work better. It also helps your immune system. So when we're sick or around people who are sick, it's a good idea to eat these things because they help build up immunity.
All right, now we were talking a little bit about sauerkraut last week, and for those people who have never tried to do their at-home version of it, I understand there's a trick to it. It's not super easy.
Well, actually, I think it is super easy. I'm all about easy. There's complicated ways of doing most anything, and I don't do that. So I can tell you real quick, if you want to taste the sauerkraut, the version that I made for you today has some caraway in it. When you and I visited last week, the store-bought one was very plain. This one I really like. It has kind of a rye bread taste to it. And so what I do when I make my sauerkraut is I make it in a glass jar. You can also make it in a crock. The whole concept here is isn't that good?
Tons better.
Yeah, I
This
do.
is a lot better than last week's.
I thought you'd like it. Yeah.
So what exactly is sauerkraut?
It's shredded cabbage.
Just shredded cabbage?
Yeah, and then you add seasonings if you want to. So last week, the one that I brought was just plain shredded cabbage. Again, I bought it from the store, and it's very nice. It had probiotics, and it had all the good bacteria in it and so forth, but it was plain.
So what's the liquid in here? Is it vinegar? Or
No, I don't use any vinegar when I pickle. I actually just use salt. So I'm just salt brine. So you asked about how to make it. This is the jar of the actual sauerkraut, and what it is, it's shredded cabbage, salt brine, and caraway seeds, and that's it.
That's it?
That was it?
That's it.
That's not so hard.
So how
not so
long does
hard.
it have to sit in there to become that?
I let mine, well, it depends on how you do it. If you use a crock, it takes a little bit longer, but let me tell you the shortest, fastest, easiest way, because that's the way that we're all interested in. You can get a device. There are several different kinds available on the market. I've brought this one in before, the Farm Cultured Kit, which has this device which you then put into the jar. There's a jar that comes with a hole in it and so forth. This one, the Pickle, is similar. It's glass, so it's a little bit higher end. It's a little bit more expensive. And then this one is the one I use the most frequently. This is the Perfect Pickler. It comes with a recipe booklet, which I really like because I actually use some of their recipes. This has a lid. This has this device here.
It has a grommet, so you can slide it in.
Yep. You just put it in there, and then this creates a lock. You put water in there, and then what would happen when I'm making my pickles, I wouldn't have this thing. I would have this. I put and I actually,
And
this
why
is
do you need this contraption on there?
because it seals out the air. The whole concept is this is it anaerobic or aerobic? I think it's anaerobic. The kind of bacteria that grows without oxygen. So we're locking out the oxygen. If we didn't have this on here, there could get some air could get under there. That's the whole idea of this.
So does pressure get built up when this is happening? So you need a place for that to escape without air coming back in.
And that can do it through here.
Okay.
So when you take the lid off the first time, sometimes there'll be a little bit of a pop, but not always. And so I let the pickles sit. These actually are pickles I had on the show back this spring when these first came out at Farmers Market. I left this on for 4 days, and then I put them in the refrigerator for the rest of the time. These will last for 2 years.
The rest of the time, how
2
long?
years.
Yeah, until you eat them.
Oh, till you eat them?
Yeah,
so they're done after 4 days?
They're done after 4
Okay.
days, yeah. Yeah, you can sometimes I leave them for 5 if I want them to be a little bit tart. And then the important thing is to keep the lid on them. Don't leave the lid out because you don't want air to keep getting in there.
I didn't realize that.
And then the other thing is, other clue, when you get this quantity down a little bit, transfer it to a smaller jar because there is air in here.
right.
So that's the key.
sense.
So you can taste the pickles that I brought today, better than Bubby's from last week. And you can see I put onions in here. There's some sliced garlic. There's big whole pieces of fresh dill.
This is better than last week's,
I
too.
think so, too.
2 for 2 right now.
Yeah, that's great.
This
So-
is really good, too.
Another thing that I pickle, and this you can see if we can get close on this, you can see the date. I put a date on there, and the date I did this was April 30th of this year. This is simply carrots and ginger. And that's the next item for you to
that
try.
sounds good right now.
I knew you would like that. And it's 2 different kinds of carrots. I used the traditional orange ones, and then there's lighter colored ones. I used the white ones. I probably wouldn't do that again. It's not as pretty as I wanted
Now,
it to be.
what did you do with the ginger on here? Did you just shave it? Or?
Yep, I sliced it really thin. You always take the outside off, peel it.
Yeah, peel it.
And then I made really thin little kind of planks in there. And I like that. It's very nice. You could make it more gingery if you wanted to, but I like it because it's still crunchy.
So what is in here then? What's in this? You have carrots, ginger.
Salt, and water.
That's it. Wow.
Yeah, easy.
stuff.
And then for the crescendo, for our dessert today, I made yogurt. And we can ferment yogurt as well. This is what I made your yogurt out of. It's
coconut.
A coconut. So I pureed the coconut water and the coconut meat together in a blender.
Okay.
I added in a probiotic capsule. You've seen them at the store in the refrigerator. You open up the capsule, dump the insides in. And then I let it sit at room temperature for about 24, 36 hours, and now you have yogurt.
At
Really?
room temperature.
At room temperature. I was growing bacteria. That's what yogurt is. It's cultured.
Yeah, that's what Erin Andrews advertises on TV as a probiotic. So.
Exactly. So then I put some raspberries on there to fancy it up and a little drizzle of honey because we're classy
Okay,
around
I was
here.
going to say, why does it look oily? But that's honey.
That's
I
honey.
put a little honey on there just to sweeten it. And you don't have to do that, but I wanted it to be pretty. Isn't that nice?
And not real super sweet.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And you could add some stevia if you wanted it sweeter. You could add a sugar thing, but I personally want to dress it up a little.
Because a lot of times our store-bought yogurts, although yogurt is better than eating a lot of other things, tons of sugar.
There's a
in
lot
there.
of sugar, especially with the fruit at the bottom that you stir through.
Right.
Yeah. And so I just really try to avoid that.
You're always going, aren't you? Now, if people want to try to keep up with you, and I say try to keep up with Sheree Clark, how do they do so?
You would go to fork-road.com or send me an email at info@fork-road.com, and I would love to hear from you and share what I know.
Okay, I'm going to let you hear from us right now. Of those 4 things you have on here,
Yeah.
the winner is sauerkraut. Easy.
Okay.
Sauerkraut, very, very good.
Good, all
so
right.
ask Sheree how to do it, and you can do it at home.
Very
Perfect.
good.
Wonderful.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.